What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Bulls Latest. Your host, Matt Johnson here. I want to kick off this Thursday show by taking a look at the Bulls depth chart now that Josh Giddey's deal is on the books here. After acquiring a guy like Isaac Okoro via trade, drafting Noah Sange with the 12th overall pick, and re-signing Trey Jones, the Bulls depth chart looks very different from a season ago, and in a good way. That's not even counting second-round pick Lachlan Olbrich and Yuki Kawamura, who will begin their first seasons in the Windy City on two-way contracts. Giddey, Coby White, Isaac Okoro, Malik Beasley, and Nikola Vucevic are penciled in as the starting five at this moment. Among them, Okoro is the only starter whose spot in the lineup isn't necessarily guaranteed at this point. The starting small forward spot will ultimately be a battle between Okoro and returnees Kevin Huerter and Pat Williams here. And we'll see. That'll be an interesting and exciting competition as we kick off training camp here in a matter of weeks. It's expected that the former Cavalier will assume the role at this point, given that he's now the Bulls' top perimeter defender. This was something, if you guys remember, I went into in detail a long time ago in this show. If you look at this player, I think he gives Billy Donovan what he so desires at this spot. And I think with Giddey and White manning the backcourt, having a strong perimeter defender is essential. It makes that much more sense for him to be a big piece in this Bulls organization moving forward. That leaves Jones, Ayo Dosunmu, who's coming off shoulder surgery, Kevin Huerter, Pat Williams, and Zach Collins as Chicago's primary reserves here. That's a pretty strong group of reserves, if you ask me. Each and every one of those players could be an impact moving forward. When you look at Collins, he has the hold on the second string center spot. It's not really guaranteed, though, at this moment for him. The roster also includes Jalen Smith, and that's kind of why I say that, who signed a 3-year, $27 million contract last offseason. Although Collins is the projected second-string big, given that his defense was far stronger than Smith's last season, I think that is where you pencil him in as the backup in that role. Rounding out the depth chart here are Javon Carter, who I honestly thought was going to be on the move. I didn't think the Bulls would hang on to him. You got Dalen Terry, Julian Phillips, Noah Sange, and Smith as the third stringers. Don't be surprised if the latter four earn spot minutes from time to time, given their youth, and in Smith's case, his potential to provide a similar impact as Collins there. Collins and Smith are very similar in their style of play. Finally, you got two-way signees and training camp players who round out Chicago's roster. The two-way players are Yuki Kawamura, Lachlan Olbrich, and Emmanuel Miller, while Caleb Grill, Wooga Poplar, and Mohamed Gee join as Exhibit 10 signees here. I think that's a strong group of guys. When you look at this roster, it's a lot more complete than we've seen these Bulls teams look in recent years moving into the season. And I'm certainly excited about the depth on this roster. There's a lot of good decisions that Billy Donovan will have to make, and tough ones at that, but they're good decisions because there's a lot of talent throughout this roster, and I think it'll make for kind of deciding who is going to ultimately get the playing time moving forward. Yet it's a long season, things could change, but to start off this next year, that's kind of what we're looking at in terms of a depth chart. Kind of spinning off of that, the Bulls' next move, what should it be? I think, in my eyes, you guys let me know what you think, but I think it's a clear one. The next logical step is to do whatever it takes to hold on to his backcourt mate, and that's Josh Giddey, and that's Coby White. I think Coby White and Josh Giddey showed a ton of spark when in lineups together this past year. White was a pivotal third wheel to that couple in Malik Beasley and Josh Giddey, and to Bulls head coach Billy Donovan's system. I think he's an intricate part to what Billy Donovan wants to do. If the franchise wants to continue developing its young players while maintaining some level of continuity and become a playoff contender again, the former North Carolina Tar Heel must play a crucial role in that, in my eyes. At just 25 years of age, White still fits the Bulls' timeline. He's also a snug fit next to both of those young cornerstones in Modest and Giddey there, filling gaps and enhancing their respective games. I think, when you look at Modest, he's on track to be a unique and explosive 6'10" wing. I've talked about this guy a ton. He is going to be the focal point of this team. Giddey is the jumbo floor general who runs the show, and White is the shooter and scorer that spaces the floor floor and makes the offense roll downhill. I just think now that Giddey is locked up, I think it's a very exciting opportunity for the Bulls to lock up Coby White next, as he's set to hit the unrestricted free agent market this upcoming summer. The Greensboro native is coming off a career year. I've talked about it many times. This guy was undoubtedly buoyed by Giddey's presence beside him. When those two started to get in the lineups together consistently, you saw their numbers skyrocket. When the pair was on the floor, the Bulls were highly successful at what Donovan wants to do, and that's run in transition, taking care of the basketball, firing off open threes, and finishing possessions with points. With Modest still on his rookie deal, and locking up Giddey is really a massive part for the Bulls' future here. The next logical step, in my eyes, and I'll just continue to reiterate this, is paying Coby White and keeping that trio together. I think that's a huge deal for this team moving forward, and it's a gimme. If you look at it, I just think that that's something that's a no-brainer what the Bulls should do next here. So kind of switching gears, we have the EuroBasket tournament continuing here. The semifinals will continue tomorrow, Friday, September 12th. The first game taking place at 9 a.m. Central Time. Germany will take on Finland as a 12.5-point favorite, so Germany is widely expected to move on to yet another championship game in this competition. That'll certainly be one to want to watch here. Germany is a powerhouse. I think they will ultimately take care of Finland and move into the final there. The matchup of the day tomorrow, taking place at 1 p.m. Central Time, is Greece taking on Turkey. Greece is a 1-point favorite. This is going to be a battle. You got some NBA talent on that team. You got Giannis Antetokounmpo, and you also have a solid, loaded Turkey team with some NBA talent there as well. The third place game and the final are set for Sunday, September 14th, so both those medal games will take place this upcoming Sunday. I'm hoping to see Germany take on whoever comes on top in that Greece-Turkey game, and I honestly would love to see a Germany and Greece matchup there. I think that'll give us a lot of fireworks there. But Turkey as well, can't count them out. I mean, they got a lot of talent. So we'll keep eyes on that one. I'm certainly excited for what's to come in that situation there. To kind of wrap up today's show, I wanted to talk a little bit more about Malik Beasley. It came out yesterday. The NBA, as an organization, is now conducting its own investigation into gambling allegations against Malik Beasley. If you guys remember, I talked about his charges being kind of lifted federally, that federal investigation. They took a major step back. It is rumored, though, and Adam Silver did say this, that federally they are still taking a look at the situation, but the NBA has gone into this and conducted its own investigation now. Adam Silver saying that they're willing to cooperate with whatever the federal government is looking into, as well as anything that goes forward with this. He is cooperative and wants this to just take place as it should. The investigation, as you guys remember, stems from allegations of improper gambling on NBA games and prop bets from the 2023-24 season when Malik was part of the Milwaukee Bucks organization. So that is certainly something we're going to want to keep an eye on there. That is going to be something that's going to be in the news for a long time. I think he ultimately has a chance to jump onto another roster. I'm not sure, quite honestly, if any team is going to want to do that while he's being investigated by the league. So that kind of puts his basketball plans on hold. It is something that the NBA is taking very seriously now, and that is gambling intertwined with its athletes. We've seen issues in Major League Baseball. We've certainly seen the NFL have its fair share of issues as well as college sports. College baseball, more notably, is taking a lot of hits when it comes to athletes gambling on their own game. So that is something that you want to keep in the sport, and that's the integrity of it. I definitely agree with the NBA being thorough with this and kind of finding out every inch and detail of this investigation. I think it's a good thing. Lastly, today I just wanted to finish up today's show. Today on September 11th, we remember and honor the brave and courageous first responders and all of those who lost their lives as a result of the terrible tragedy this country endured 24 years ago today. We always remember those. God bless America, never forget. And today is a special day for a lot of people. It's a hard day for a lot of people as we remember the fallen from that terrible tragedy. Also, I'm sure many of you saw the news yesterday, but Charlie Kirk, a great American patriot, was shot and killed yesterday, a very tragic event. Rest in peace to him. There is no place for violence in this country, in my eyes. And what occurred at Utah Valley University yesterday afternoon is a terrible tragedy. God bless Charlie and his family. May he rest in peace. I want to thank you guys for joining me on another episode of Bulls Latest today, and we will see you guys tomorrow.